What's good guys? Welcome to the video. Oggi vediamo altri 21 verbi riflessivi in inglese. Let's begin. Prima di presentarveli, vediamo la loro costruzione. In inglese il verbo riflessivo si fa soggetto, verbo, pronome riflessivo. Però dobbiamo concordare ad ogni pronome soggetto il proprio pronome riflessivo. Nel video compare la parola oneself, che vuol dire se stesso a prescindere di che persona. Adesso vediamo i verbi. To amuse oneself, divertirsi. I amuse myself. You amuse yourself. He amuses himself. She amuses herself. It amuses itself. We amuse ourselves. You amuse yourselves. They amuse themselves. To break oneself. Rompersi. I break myself. You break yourself. He breaks himself. She breaks herself. It breaks itself. We break ourselves. You break yourselves. They break themselves. To check oneself. Controllarsi. I check myself. You check yourself. He checks himself. She checks herself. It checks itself. We check ourselves. You check yourselves. They check themselves. To clean oneself. Pulirsi. I clean myself. You clean yourself. He cleans himself. She cleans herself. It cleans itself. We clean ourselves. You clean yourselves. They clean themselves. To feel oneself. Sentirsi, di solito di buon umore. I feel myself. You feel yourself. He feels himself. She feels herself. It feels itself. We feel ourselves. You feel yourselves. They feel themselves. To fix oneself. Aggiustarsi. I fix myself. You fix yourself. He fixes himself. She fixes herself. It fixes itself. We fix ourselves. You fix yourselves. They fix themselves. To hate oneself. Odiarsi. I hate myself. You hate yourself. He hates himself. She hates herself. It hates itself. We hate ourselves. You hate yourselves. They hate themselves. To hear oneself. Sentirsi, cioè ascoltarsi. I hear myself. You hear yourself. He hears himself. She hears herself. It hears itself. We hear ourselves. You hear yourselves. They hear themselves. To let oneself down. Deludersi. I let myself down. You let yourself down. He lets himself down. She lets herself down. It lets itself down. We let ourselves down. You let yourselves down. They let themselves down. To like oneself. Piacersi. I like myself. You like yourself. He likes himself. She likes herself. It likes itself. We like ourselves. You like yourselves. They like themselves. To listen to oneself. Ascoltarsi. I listen to myself. You listen to yourself. He listens to himself. She listens to herself. It listens to itself. We listen to ourselves. You listen to yourselves. They listen to themselves. To look after oneself. Prendersi cura. I look after myself. You look after yourself. He looks after himself. She looks after herself. It looks after itself. We look after ourselves. You look after yourselves. They look after themselves. To look at oneself. Guardarsi. I look at myself. You look at yourself. He looks at himself. She looks at herself. It looks at itself. We look at ourselves. You look at yourselves. They look at themselves. To love oneself. Amarsi. I love myself. You love yourself. He loves himself. She loves herself. It loves itself. We love ourselves. You love yourselves. They love themselves. To please oneself. Compiacersi. I please myself. You please yourself. He pleases himself. She pleases herself. It pleases itself. We please ourselves. You please yourselves. They please themselves. To say to oneself. Dirsi. I say to myself. You say to yourself. He says to himself. She says to herself. It says to itself. We say to ourselves. You say to yourselves. They say to themselves. To stop oneself. Fermarsi oppure frenarsi. I stop myself. You stop yourself. He stops himself. She stops herself. It stops itself. We stop ourselves. You stop yourselves. They stop themselves. To take care of oneself. Prendersi cura. I take care of myself. You take care of yourself. He takes care of himself. She takes care of herself. It takes care of itself. We take care of ourselves. You take care of yourselves. They take care of themselves. To tell oneself. Dirsi o raccontarsi. I tell myself. You tell yourself. He tells himself. She tells herself. It tells itself. We tell ourselves. You tell yourselves. They tell themselves. To wash oneself. Lavarsi. I wash myself. You wash yourself. He washes himself. She washes herself. It washes itself. We wash ourselves. You wash yourselves. They wash themselves. To watch oneself. Guardarsi. I watch myself. You watch yourself. He watches himself. She watches herself. It watches itself. We watch ourselves. You watch yourselves. They watch themselves. Diamo un'occhiata alla forma plurale dei riflessivi. Prendiamo per esempio il verbo amare. Esiste una distinzione fra amare se stessi e amare l'un l'altro. Se stessi riusiamo i stessi pronomi riflessivi, altrimenti si usa each other. Well done! Thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one. Take care.